Welcome everybody to the Young Kings Wrestling Podcast, episode 90, featuring the Sovereign Soundboard. As always, you can find us on most platforms streaming podcasts, including Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, iHeartRadio, among others. And if you're on iTunes, leave us a review. Links to all the platforms are available at ykwrestling.com. If you go to ykwrestling.com, on that link tree, you can buy you some merch. You know, we got Young Kings Wrestling shirts, you know, something like that. Black Lives Matter shirts, you feel me?
You know, I steady be buying them.
He
I
do.
got a whole closet at this point.
Somewhat. I've seen Vince's name pop up in my email like about 4 times at least.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the support, man.
Yeah. Give me like a book bag and I'll buy that shit too. Oh, give me a dad hat or a beanie. I'll buy that shit too.
I'll buy a beanie.
We're looking at all that.
Mm-hmm.
I need me a beanie myself.
Yes, sir. Who doesn't need a beanie? Even if it's summer outside, I'll still rock a beanie.
I live in the desert. I wear beanies all the time.
That's right. That's right. I forget that detail.
Hey, man, if you guys follow us on Twitter, join our conversation on social media with the hashtag YK Wrestling. We're going to dedicate this episode to our friend over at the Smacking the Raw podcast, to HWBIC, the Warden Matt Ritter. Send your love and prayers to my guy and his family during this time, man. So I had a idea to do like a 10 bark salute, and I didn't get the barks ready. So I'll have some barks ready. I might put some barks in post. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure Matt will appreciate the sentiment regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, always. Hey, man, speaking of Smacking the Raw podcast, let's introduce our guest here. First, co-host Smacking the Raw, #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub, Vince Delgado, or as they call it. I'm gonna let Reek say the full nickname and everything.
All right, let me turn this up a little bit because introductions are my thing.
Yeah, and you can also segue this into introducing Katie because I do that anyway.
You already know. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Smacking the Raw podcast, present to you the silver-tongued devil that all the ladies got to watch out for, Pornhub Poppy Daddy Delgado.
Hey, I love that. Pornhub Poppy, put that on the t-shirt.
Wrestling podcast on Pornhub.
Hey, my man. Got my own Paul Heyman over here hyping me up.
Yes, sir.
I'm feeling like the new Roman Reigns of podcasting. Thank you.
It's fun, isn't it?
It's so fun, man. You get to experience that almost weekly, don't you, Katie?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. And without further ado, of course, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you from the Smack Raw podcast, the end-all be-all, the North Star of the Smack Raw podcast, the sun around which the other wrestling podcast must revolve, the one, the only, I'm going to change it up a little bit, Ms. Katie F. Baby.
Mm-hmm.
There's another name for you.
I have so many names.
Katie F. and Wrestling. How about that?
Yes, sir.
How about that? Yes, sir.
Let's introduce ourselves. I'm TC Fontaine.
The host forgets to introduce themselves.
Yeah. And now that I think about it, I feel like we haven't introduced the host of the actual show in a few weeks.
I got you. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get this properly underway, we got to introduce the host, the thespian, Mr. TC Fontaine, Esquire.
I'm not Esquire no more, man. I'm Esquire in the courtroom.
This is that one time. Just that one time.
All right, for sure.
You gotta introduce yourself, man.
Yeah, hype yourself up.
Man, listen. I'm just an advocate. You know what I'm saying? I am the one third of the wrestling, 1/3 of the Young Kings Wrestling Podcast. You know,
the Nature Boy.
The Nature Boy, yeah. I was gonna say Nature Boy Ric Flair, also known as the Essential Wreak Havoc, formerly known as the Essential Wreak Havoc. Now known as the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Woo! Frozone.
Big Papa Pump on Instagram too. You see his Instagram post. He out here showing the guns.
He is.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
My boy be looking like big.
Lady slam to
Ashley in there. Gym, boy.
I'm trying to catch the Almighty. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on that level yet, but I'm trying to get there.
I see you.
Feel you, man. Hey, before we get started, man, I want to send condolences to the friends and family. This one hurt me a little bit, man. New Jack Jerome Young passed away. I think it was 58. They said. I don't care how you felt about him if it was in a negative way, because on this show he is a Hall of Famer all day, every day. I don't care. I just don't care. I don't care. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna grasp moral straws over here. We all support bad people. It's okay. It's okay.
There's Hogan fans out here, so
yeah. Yeah, he never killed anybody. I mean, New Jack didn't kill anybody on purpose.
I'm about to say, on
purpose.
Nothing.
He might have intended to.
Nothing that
it never happened. Yeah.
About to say, yeah. Couple injuries, some blood, some broken bones here and there, but
I went years thinking that this man killed Mass Transit during that match, just to come to find out that dude died years later.
Yeah. And they said it was a complication from a surgery, so it ain't even you could really pin that on him either.
They try to blame New Jack for saying because the dude was fat. It's like he was fat before
he was fat. Right, he was. His whole gimmick, he was fat. So what that got to do?
His name was Mass Transit, bro.
Right. That was the whole point.
Hey, what's your guys' favorite New Jack moment if you have one?
Honestly, I never watched any New Jack, to be honest. So I don't have a negative opinion of the man, nor do I have any fond memories of him. I just know of him. Like I said on the Smacking the Raw podcast, you should go ahead and check out.
Go listen to that.
Linktree/Smacking the Raw for the audio, Linktree/Creation World for the video. I did mention that his name is big enough that I know of him, but even though I didn't watch any of his work, I think I might have seen clips of crazy shit he used to do. Wasn't he the guy that beat up that kid that lied about him being a trained wrestler? And
that was Mass Transit.
Yeah, Mass Transit. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then there you go. So that's probably my only memory of New Jack is him beating up a fucking kid that lied about him being a pro wrestler.
I have a favorite New Jack moment, but it did not occur in the ring. It happened during a shoot interview where him and the Honky Tonk Man and Iron Sheik were having a shoot interview together, hanging out together. All of a sudden, it was probably a bunch of alcohol and drugs involved as well. But it was a very entertaining shoot interview that took place about a few months to a year after the Benoit situation, and they just went in on him, and it's very entertaining. It's probably my favorite interview I've ever watched.
I have to check that out.
Just to see three people that you probably would never expect to see hanging out together.
Yeah, so the Vic Grimes getting tossed off the scaffold was one of the things that I watched for years before I even knew who New Jack was. So when I found out
the LimeWire.
Yeah, right. And so when I found out about New Jack and the fact that it was revenge for a spot that went wrong previously, I'm like, okay, so this dude is wild. And it wasn't planned or nothing like that. He just said, I'm just tasing this dude and I'm throwing him off the scaffold and I hope he died, but he didn't. If that don't tell you the dude was real life crazy, I don't know what else will. That was it. Because I didn't see a lot of them, but I basically knew about him before I knew about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, I can say the same thing.
OJ Simpson, keep up the good work, baby.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, man. So if we still have any listeners left over from talking about New Jack in a positive light, let's move on.
We said shout out to New Jack so many times in the past. I don't want to hear it. Y'all know what's up.
Yeah, y'all know what it is.
We was trying to get an interview. I remember I was talking to him before, right?
Yeah, Reek was actually corresponding with him.
Oh my god, I was so tight.
Never.
I had him on we retweeted something talking about an interview. He said set it up. I'm like, I bet. So I DM'd him and I gave him all the details. He never got back. Like a week went by, he didn't get back to me. And all of a sudden, he was like, "Yo, what's this about again? My bad. Sometimes I forget shit." I'm like, the interview for the show, Young Kings Wrestling. Never heard back from him again. And then he just deleted his whole Twitter. So
no, he got suspended.
Oh yeah.
He got suspended for threatening Jake Paul. I think it was.
Sounds about right.
True story.
Oh my god.
That's exactly what happened.
Bro.
It was Jake or Logan. It was one of the two.
Both suck. Who cares?
I was like, everybody doing that. So what?
Yeah. So like I said, we still have any people listening. Still, we can carry on. So what do you guys watch? You guys watch any wrestling outside of the weekly shows? Like ran back any pay-per-views, any docs?
I haven't been able to since the switch over to Peacock. I've tried, but I have been going back to watch some old 2004, 2005 SmackDown. Watch some of the glory days of Thugonomics, John Cena, Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero, and the rise of JBL scumbag like WWE Championship reign.
Greatest heel of all time.
Yeah, fair claim. You know, and honestly, going back and watching it. Those SmackDowns are always fucking fun. I usually go back and watch the 2005 SmackDown, so that's what I've been watching recently.
Carlito?
Yes, that was actually the last episode. Was the one where he debuted and got the title off of Cena and shit. So I'm slowly working my way.
Stabbed
in a nightclub by Jesus, his bodyguard.
You saying JBL is the greatest heel of all time after Triple H beat up a mentally handicapped man on live TV?
He lost to him. Mentally handicapped man.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the idea was he's supposed to be handicapped. And
man, if he didn't get heat after that Booker T promo, he wasn't gonna get heat for being a PG.
Case in point, further evidence right there.
But more people love Triple H than people love JBL. There's more JBL haters.
Honestly, the biggest thing that gave JBL heat was that promo. Him trying to kick Mexicans out of the border like that's real heat. You know what I'm saying? The
behind the scenes of that of them shooting that promo.
Nah.
It was on an old episode of Bruce Pritchard's podcast. I can't remember, but so apparently they went to the wrong location initially.
Really?
So when they go on somebody's private property, they end up getting a gun pulled on them.
What?
God.
Because they accidentally went to the wrong property. Like,
oh my gosh.
That's what really solidified it as the greatest of all time for me. Because the fact that he was still able to go to where he was supposed to go and perfect that promo the way he did after almost dying. That's GOAT stuff right there.
That's crazy.
That and him giving Eddie Guerrero's mom a heart attack on the live event.
A shoot heart attack too.
That wasn't planned though. I will say it wasn't planned. In
front of Eddie Guerrero's family.
Yeah.
In front of Eddie Guerrero's city.
Mm-hmm.
He gave his mama a shoot heart attack. They said they almost didn't make it out of there alive. He almost died several times playing that role. That's why he's the greatest heel ever.
Some of the most traumatizing moments in Eddie's life happened involving JBL. Because Judgment Day 04. Right? I was about to say Judgment Day 04.
When he literally bled out a whole blood bank and shit.
No, he literally bled out in that whole
bled so much that he went into shock.
I'm still traumatized by that Great American Bash Texas Bull Rope match.
Oh, that result got so much heat with it.
To this day, I do not like Kurt Angle for it. Like there'll be times where I'm like, God damn, it's
the
Kurt
cage
Angle.
match
Like,
on SmackDown, bro.
Fuck Kurt Angle for that cage match coming out as El Luchador or whatever the fuck he was calling himself. Like, whatever the fuck, whatever.
Yeah,
El Gran Luchador. That's what it was. Because I literally
one of those.
No, it was that because I went back and watched
costume gimmicks that they have.
Because they debuted that like character like 2 weeks before he did that bullshit, and then on top of all of that,
it was El Gran Luchador.
El Gran Luchador. I know, because it clicked in my head because I just watched it like 4 weeks ago. Like, I'm still so mad about Kurt Angle.
Because the original El Gran Luchador was Shannon Moore under the costume.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
Interesting. He looked a little bit more tan than I remember.
Yeah, it was Shannon Moore. If you go back and look at the match log, I don't know. I'm a nerd. Anyway, let's move on some more. I watched some docs recently as well. It's a bunch of docs I need to watch, but I started the RVD one. So I was very shocked they allowed RVD to go on Peacock talking about, him discovering weed. And that was very interesting.
Yeah.
He gave Vince a pack of rolling papers.
I was about to say, he showed up and just handed it to him. Vince started dying.
I wonder if he used them. You think Vince used them?
Probably.
If he did, it's not something he's going to openly confess to.
Like, he probably got like a safe room somewhere in his
God damn it, Rob, this is some good shit.
He probably
That's what it was in the lockbox Shane was trying to expose.
Right.
What's the RVD rolling paper?
Like somewhere,
know that he smoked weed.
Somewhere in the McMahon residence is a safe room where he goes and just lights a couple up away from everybody else, and he just comes out of there calm as hell. That's how he stays level.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I bet. Also, I have not checked out the Damian Priest Chronicle. I have to watch that one. I didn't know Damian Priest was like a whole 70 pounds bigger than he is now. So I might be dragging it, but he was a little bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I have not watched Dark Side of the Ring yet either with Nick Gage.
I did.
I heard it was something that you can't really watch.
Yeah, like honest to God, like all of these episodes are tough to watch if you know the stories or you've been fans of these wrestlers. But this just because of the content, it was just cringing almost the entire time. Like the dude, it kicks off with that incident where he literally almost died because one of those light fixtures that he goes through stabs him right up under the arm and like nicks an artery, so he's like bleeding all over the place, and they had to go stitch him up. He still tried to go finish the match. Like that is how they started it. So you just carried for the next 40 minutes.
Matches, man.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Did you see the footage of that death match, or was it maybe a hardcore match at some indie show on Friday, where the dude ended up lighting himself on fire? Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
So it was a spot where the dude, like his opponent, was just going to like burn his dick and then use a weed whacker to put it out. But then the fire, he just ended up getting set on fire all the way. Like as he was selling, he was selling the initial move, and then his whole body got set on fire. He just no-sold from that point. Just there's no fire extinguisher in sight. There's a bunch of dumbasses just trying to throw beer on him to put it out. It's so stupid. It's the dumbest shit I ever seen.
Yeah, that's some shit. That's some shit that needs to stay in the past.
Shit right there.
Like that.
Homer grabbing the beer to put out the fire on himself.
It's time for that to die. Like it had a good run, but I'm just.
And then there was a show out here last night. GCW had a show, and Nick Gage was in the main event, and fucking Moxley comes out. Like John Moxley shows up, which like I should have known he would show up. He shows up all the time. He lives here, so it's not nothing for him to show up. But Moxley and Nick Gage, whatever. I don't know the history. I don't follow death matches, but I was very surprised to see Moxley there. I feel like that's kind of beneath him. It was in a very indie-rific looking situation. It looked like it was in a gym. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the two of them are tight. Like he talks about in the doc, like they really they really clicked when he kind of was cutting his teeth on the indie scene. So it's like he was one of them dudes that kind of brought him on.
That, man. I saw your ass at WrestleMania.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't gotta give off that. It's all good.
Yeah, once you set stage on WrestleMania and go to like a gym to wrestle, I feel like that's a major step down. Major step
willingly down. Like, it's not like he just got released and he just had to, grind. Like, he's willingly going to these places.
He's willingly going to it because he's signed to AEW, to like the second biggest promotion, and New Japan, two of the biggest promotions outside of WWE.
He's still the IWGP United States champion
for whatever reason,
and the former AEW world champion,
and the former WWE champion.
Sure.
Yeah.
Out here appearing in gymnasiums.
But to be fair, it does feel like it fits Jon Moxley, like the person's like whole personality.
As long as it makes him happy, man. I'm not tripping. I just don't understand it. That's all.
It's just trippy to see him there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I get you.
Carry on, man. Check out that Shawn Michaels biography. I'm gonna have to watch that too because we gotta watch the GOAT.
Yeah. That came out tonight?
Yeah.
I'm check that.
Is there a way to go rewatch the replay somehow?
A&E's website.
Is it free?
Yeah.
I am cheap still.
I don't think you gotta log in with the provider. I think you just can watch it. Don't call me on that though. I just know you don't have to pay anything to watch it.
We'll see what's up. Because I still gotta go watch a few of those.
Facts, man. So I want to get into these quick hits before we, get into talking about Backlash.
The main reason we're here.
Yeah. So I know I'm the only one here that watches Impact. So I did watch Impact's Under Siege Impact Plus special last night. It was good. Some good matches. We got new women's knockouts tag team champions. Old tag team champions, Fire and Flavor. They win the titles back from Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering. Josh Alexander and El Phantasmo from the Bullet Club had a really great match for the X Division Championship. Shout out to El Phantasmo, who's putting in work since he's shown up in Impact a few weeks ago. I would like to see him there more often.
Oh, for sure. He's one of my favorite, like, current actual Bullet Club members.
Yeah, same.
Out there.
It's probably just him and Kenta, the only two dudes I care about.
You know what? That's exactly it. Those are the two guys I only fucking care about in Bullet Club right now. And for whatever, Chase Owens, he's just growing on me. Like, he's kind of like that kind of puppy you see on the street. It's like, look at you. You're trying. Life's hitting you with a ton of bricks, but you're trying. Here's a treat.
Thanks, man. In the main event, though, we got Moose winning I think it was like 6-way. I don't remember. It was like, it was a 6-way. Moose wins a 6-way to become number one contender for Kenny Omega's Impact World Heavyweight Championship. So we got Kenny next month at Against All Odds. And let me tell you this. Since AEW is getting back to touring in a couple months, they just need to move on and focus on them. Focus on their brand and re-solidifying, regaining that momentum that they had built up. They had some pretty good momentum built up before Corona. So let's focus on that. Let's end this belt collector stuff that I just haven't cared about since maybe the third week after it started, which is in December.
To be fair, the whole belt collector shtick has been overdone recently too much. Like Austin Aries did it. Moose fucking did it. No,
Lashley.
Not Moose. Lashley, that's what I meant. Lashley fucking did it. He had all the fucking titles on Impact.
Everyone.
Yeah, every single last one of them. So like the whole belt collector gimmick has been done. And it's like it's fine or whatever. It's not bad. But I think someone should take the title off of
Moose.
And I think it's gonna be Andrade to take that AAA title off.
I was just about to say that. You got the right people that can take. You got the right people that can take all of these belts. Like Moose can take the TNA belt because he, rightfully, I think he made his claim to be a champion a while back. So he can take that, and then Andrade, it's a perfect way to get him in at AAA. He can take that belt off of Kenny, and whatever you're gonna do with the AEW title. But It's all set.
If I could fantasy book for a second, I would have Samoa Joe return to Impact Wrestling, be their big face, and be the one to take the Impact and TNA World Title off of Kenny Omega and be like that face of Impact. Because as much as I would love to see Samoa Joe on AEW, I think just something about him going back to Impact just feels right. That's just me. That's my take.
See that?
I thought about it, but then I didn't like it when I thought about it.
You didn't think hard enough.
I feel like that wouldn't benefit anything past just that initial moment.
Getting into the Impact Hall of Fame. He'll be a Hall of Famer.
He was going there anyway.
No, I'm about to say, like, that's already set.
Like, he don't need to be Kenny Omega to do that.
Yeah, but I just kind of want him to be Kenny Omega. I want him to choke out Kenny Omega. Is basically what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, and if he's gonna do it, then he should do it on AEW.
Like Moose is the one to do it. Like with Impact, Moose
should have never lost that title to Rich Swann.
14 to 15 months.
Mm-hmm.
Like Moose has had this momentum, and Kenny Omega actually came in and ruined his momentum a little bit. For the past few months. So now, like, let's do it. Moose is probably the hottest guy in Impact right now. I don't think, he shouldn't have lost to Rich Swann, but you kind of had to do it for this whole Kenny thing, and it was stupid. But the way he lost to Rich Swann, it wasn't like it didn't hurt Moose at all. So
that was the one thing is that I just didn't like how like the whole like Moose losing the title just to get it on Rich Swann, just to get those titles onto Kenny Omega kind of hindered Moose in a bit, but it's all going to work out so long as he gets the title at the end.
Yeah, the only thing I really didn't like is Moose losing the title after they finally recognized him as champion when he's been carrying his belt around for a year.
That was the thing. That was the thing. Had he like been recognized as champion for a few months to like half a year, then I'm like, okay, it's whatever. He had his run as a world champion, you know. But it was literally like, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Jesus.
Yeah. Hey, let's get that belt off of Kenny Omega. Next up, we got Tamina and Natty defeated Shayna and Nia Jax. Shania or Jaxler, whichever one you want to call it, to win the women's tag team championships in WWE. This is Tamina's first women's championship. If you remember, she won the 24/7 title a couple years ago, so it's not her first title.
Forgot.
It's the first women's championship, and a triple crown for Natty as well. It counts.
Congrats to both.
Divas title, SmackDown Women's Championship, Women's Tag Team Championship. The boat. I can't
stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it. Stop it.
Hottest woman in red on SmackDown.
This is about Tamina and nothing more.
True.
Period. And listen, the worst part is, and I said this to TC last week, but I'm saying it again, and it's true. The fact is that nothing really changed. It's the same tag team, just with different names. Because Tamina is your Shayna Baszler.
It's a Walmart Great Value version of the team that just had the title.
Yeah. Tamina is your Shayna Baszler. She's the badass in real life and in the ring that they dropped the ball on a long time ago. Granted, she was hindered by injuries, but we know the deal. And then Natty is the one who had potential early on, but they drowned her first with a bad gimmick, then with meaningless mid-card feuds, and now it's just like we don't care. So it's the same tag team, but with a different, I guess, wrinkle.
I will say they at least tried to build up Natty in the brand split in 2016 with SmackDown Live when she turned heel. They tried.
They did.
They
tried.
And unfortunately, they did Tamina no favors by being the love interest of Santina Morella. People forget that shit.
I forgot about that. Awful.
They try to make her a girly girl.
Yeah,
but I'm happy for Tamina, and you know what? Regardless of the fact I may not be too invested in Natty, but at the end of the day, I'm happy she got those tag titles. She's a very entertaining, controversial figure in Total Divas, and you know what? Fuck it. If it ends up being a nice little story plot in Total Divas, I'm all for it.
I fucking dare you.
Y'all watch Total Divas for real?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
I've watched all seasons, yeah.
Gotta get on that Total Divas train before
It's actually really entertaining.
It's so entertaining.
Is it as fake as Ms. and Mrs. obviously is?
Oh no, it's so much better. It's so much better.
Yeah.
The episode where Brie Bella loses her shoe, it's like, where did I lose my shoe?
Yo.
Oh my god, that's where Primo happened. Was drunk. Brie.
Exactly.
What I'm gonna tell you right now, and maybe it's just because I binged it all, but I'm gonna stand for Ms. and Mrs. That's my show.
Ms. and Mrs. is amazing television.
Like that's my show. I'm sorry.
It's a good show.
It really
It's a
is.
damn good show.
Actually
It's just so obviously staged. It's just I don't care.
Yeah.
It's still funny.
Yeah.
There is some stuff that is staged. Like for instance, there was a storyline, and I think the first season of the Total Divas, or maybe the second season, where Natty was trying to be sexy for TJ. It was when he first got that injury, and then like she was like, looking fine as all hell in this nice black lingerie, and
he was just not giving a fuck.
TJ just no-sold the fuck out of her. He petted her like he was a dog or something, and I was like, she's like, oh hey Natty. Just lay there on the couch with him, and Natty was just trying to get the business. She was trying to get her back blown out, and TJ wasn't having any of it.
My man acting like he didn't want no parts of that.
Shit, he should have tagged me in. I would have. I'm just
Vicente, chill.
NXT.
Natty is underrated.
We moved on, Vince. I agree. She is underrated. She's the boat. Hit Row.
No.
What did y'all think about that, man? Isaiah Swerve Scott debuts his new faction.
Oh my gosh, I fucking loved it, dude.
I love it.
It felt like a whole like label, like a whole brand, like a hip hop.
It was something
label.
different.
It's Death Row Records.
There you go.
It's the wrestling version, but I dig it though. I dig it.
And let's stop trying to be fake woke complaining about it. It's like, oh, why they have to make the black people rappers? Because they rap in real life.
Did we pay attention? Like, I don't get people that don't pay attention to content. Like, my dude has been in the
all
studio.
The promos,
yeah.
My dude's been in the studio for months.
Yep.
Like, pay attention, bro. Ugh.
It's not.
Nah, this is gonna be dope. This is gonna be real dope.
It's nice. It's nice given the fact that we lost UE, and it looks like we still got like a very interesting stable coming up. Yeah. And they have a dope ass, interesting woman wrestler in there as well. So I'm interested to see where the fuck this goes. They got a muscle, they got the mid card guy that takes the heat, and they got the woman, the strong, dominant woman, and they got the leader in Swerve. I'm all for it.
That's how you make a stable. Exactly.
This is why NXT leads the pack right here. Because you just keep this train rolling on a regular basis. Even though whatever the hell they're doing with Kyle is not working for me right now, there's some misses. There's plenty of hits like this right here.
Don't get me started on Cool Kyle.
I refuse to call him that because I don't know who thought that was cool to say, that was dope to say on TV.
Well,
they need to be shot.
You didn't know?
No.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Trash. And I said that. I told y'all this. Him and Adam Cole was gonna have a fire match, and Adam Cole was gonna do everything in his power, working overtime to put him over. And I said, they gotta make this work after this is over. Because there's a good chance he could sink or he could swim. And sure enough, that shit is sinking faster than the Titanic.
I was actually not the biggest fan of the match. I thought the match was okay. I didn't think it was a great match.
It was too long. It was way too long.
Yep.
It was.
You could have accomplished everything that they did in that in almost half that time.
Their match was.
You want to know what else is too long, guys? This segment. Before y'all go on a tangent, I'm just gonna move on because the way y'all was going, it was going to be like another 10 minutes.
I was about to help you transition and say that they could have accomplished what they wanted to in that match almost in a short amount of time, just like Cody could have accomplished what he wanted to say in his promo, like longer than what he fucking did. He cut a 15-minute promo, made it feel like 30 minutes, and could have accomplished it in 3. I don't know if we were going to go there, but we went there now.
I was about to. I was about to move on. That's why, because like This is how I was ready for this on Wednesday after I heard that promo.
I'm upset.
But I'm over it now. And so I don't really have much to say other than Cody.
Sit your ass down.
Please. I'm tired of it.
Miss the Sovereign soundboard so much. I wish I had my own on the Smack and the Raw podcast.
Did y'all see that Deadspin article on Cody?
No, I haven't.
No.
Somebody wrote an article on Deadspin. I'm gonna find the exact headline. Give me a
He's
moment.
actually finding it right now.
I am.
Admitted to the bit.
That's interesting. I think
The headline reads, Cody Rhodes needs to fuck off more than anyone has ever fucked off in the history of fucking off.
I see that.
Oh man. Oh shit.
This was written. This was written the week before this promo. By the way.
Yep.
Really? Oh man.
foreshadowing.
Yeah.
I will say this. I feel like since his match with Dustin at Double or Nothing, I feel
overrated match, by the way. I'm sorry.
No, I fucking love that.
I
match.
was there. It wasn't all that.
I love the match for what it was, but I feel like it's been downhill for Cody ever since.
People saying it's the most emotional match they ever seen. Get the fuck out of here.
It wasn't emotional. It was what it really was a rebirth for Dustin Rhodes, because he had to shed the skin of the Goldust character that people have seen for decades and show people like, yo, listen, there's an actual person in here, and I actually have a career that I can pave out as Dustin Rhodes, not this guy that you've seen in WWE for years.
I was really cheesed doing the Goldust thing. I'm sorry.
Hashtag Goldust over Dustin Rhodes.
I like Goldust over Dustin too, by the way.
Goldust over Dustin.
Goldust was fire. Like the other gimmicks he had weren't, but I remember when he was in TNA, he was black.
What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? An emo version of Goldust?
Every time you try to do one of those gimmicks outside of WWE, it's wrong. Yeah, I'm about to say like 7. That was god awful. Like every time you tried to do something in that light, it just came off so wrong.
I still think they should have had him join the Dark Order at 7.
No.
Stop it.
No.
I love the line term storytelling between that you're having right there, TC. I think
Dark Order is gonna go down as one of the biggest flops AEW ever produced. Outside of Brody Lee.
I like what they are now. I don't mind it, but given how they started, it's.
I like the potential after Brody passed, but now I just don't care about him.
So I don't really care to talk about this whole promo situation. I'm not gonna hold you, but if I have to say something, it's not even so much to Cody. It's to these people that simp over stuff like this. I'm really disappointed in all of y'all, because why I had to go on Twitter and see people putting Cody in fucking MLK pictures and Malcolm X quotes and all this other stuff. Like y'all really need to get y'all shit together, because it's not funny. It's really not. Like
people.
The promo bad enough, but the aftermath and y'all who don't know how to act is what
Brandy
makes
trying
so
to
much
salvage
worse.
it. Brandy trying to salvage it was,
and that
was worse.
That made me even more mad, because I'm like, you know what? You are not the person to take this stance right now, because you just as bad. Truthfully, if you really want to keep it on it, like, you probably the same way behind closed doors. And it's like, don't sit up here and kind of defend the man when it's like, you marching lockstep with him the whole way.
You know, that's
why I heard cutting that promo on Jade way back when pissed everybody off, because I'm like, you don't talk like that.
You think you don't after school special, bitch?
Like no, you don't do that.
You know,
you don't speak that.
John Cena once famously told Roman Reigns this: it's better to keep your mouth closed and have people think that you're stupid than to open it and prove them right. And that's all I'm gonna say to Cody.
No, I didn't. No,
you ain't like none of the Kunta Cody memes at all.
Nope, bro. Every one I saw just triggered
Only the
me a little
McMahon
bit more.
ones are good. Only the Vince McMahon ones are good.
Like that. That's exactly that fit. You know what I'm saying? But the more I kept seeing those, it was like I was so close to having a rant of my own about it, but I'm just like, I'm not going to devote my energy to this. I'm really not, because, like I said, it's who Cody really is. He just never let it shine through until that promo, which he had to take 15, 20 minutes to do. But
I don't know if I was more offended at the promo or the fact that he using his dad's nickname.
Yeah,
I don't know which one.
You know what? That's something I'm not mad about. It's just, again, I think the thing I'm most annoyed about is he took a 15-minute promo, made it feel like 30 minutes, and he could have said what he said in 5.
Cody Rhodes.
Stop it. Get some help.
Once again, proving my point that the Bulls are accounted because of Jordan.
Stop it. We're not getting back into this.
Oh, here we go.
We already got the basketball convo out the system before we went. So we wouldn't waste our listeners' precious time. I care about our listeners.
If you really cared about your listeners, you wouldn't be hyping up New Jack like you did to start up the episode. But that's neither here nor there.
New Jack is a Hall of Famer.
To the ring of natural born killers. Like we gonna put him in. We gonna put him in the Hall of Fame.
Right, okay.
I'm about to say he got to go on the Young King Storm. Real talk. The original gangster.
I need another drink. Moving on.
We'll get you a Blue Moon as we crown New Jack onto the throne.
Scare the shit out of me.
Hey, so as per tradition, for the month after WrestleMania, we got Backlash, or as we call it now, WrestleMania Backlash. What is that about? We got 7 matches on the card, 5 championships defended. Let's get to the grades here, man. On the kickoff, we had Sheamus versus Ricochet. Sheamus versus Ricochet.
The GOATs, the greatest of all time, the Great White, fella for life, your United States champion, greatest.
Yeah, this is Vince's first show.
The face of America and the United States, doing the red, white, and blue proud. My man, Sheamus.
You know something? You mentioned that. Like, this is the first time we seen Vince since before Mania went down.
I had an awakening. I had a moment of clarity, and I saw the light. I saw the bright light in Sheamus's entrance, and I saw the greatness that is Sheamus.
The night of the Royal Rumble, you referred to Mr. Sheamus as mid at best. January 31st.
I was wrong, and now I am
very wrong. Man, and now you simp as you should.
I am Sheamus's #1 stan on Twitter and in the wrestling podcast.
You were wrong before WrestleMania.
I was dead wrong.
This isn't something that just
I was dead wrong.
He hasn't just become worthy of this praise after WrestleMania.
Exactly. I was blind. I needed new augmentation on my prescription of my glasses. I got that. I got new glasses. My prescription was updated, and I saw the light. I saw Sheamus's great white lights shine upon us, and I see his greatness now. Greatest of all time.
Y'all don't understand how hard I was rooting for Sheamus in that match. And then when I saw right after Matt showed me the screenshot where he actually changed it to a stand page, you don't know how much pride I have in you right now, bro. Like that. Oh, that got.
I created a logo with the NWO like font, fella for life.
Oh man!
But we can't release it because Travis doesn't. Travis wants us to make sure that it's something that people can buy before I actually can go ahead and show on the show, or else I would have already made that into a T-shirt.
And you still make it into a T-shirt?
I can't. I just can't sell it or show it on the show until it's available for purchase.
Wear it on other people's shows.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go. Fella for life. Sheamus 515. That's the shirt I need to get.
Fella.
Sheamus 515 says, "I just broke kicked your ass." That's what it should say.
So speaking of Sheamus, he beat Ricochet. Was it for the title? Did anybody?
No. As far as I know,
No.
it wasn't for the title.
Vince would know.
I don't think so.
I read the Wikipedia. Damn it! I did my research before coming out to the show.
Nobody watched the match. I didn't see.
Nah, I was thinking
I
it started at 8 and it started at 7. So yeah.
I'll go run
It
it
happens.
back. But as for now, we have incomplete grades on this match. But for the opener, Rhea Ripley defeated Asuka and Charlotte to retain the Raw Women's Championship. I didn't see this one yet. I have to go run this back because I was working a wrestling show here. Shout out to Versus Pro Wrestling. Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
I was working the show, so I didn't get to see this, but I was listening. I had my headphones in. I had the show on in my pocket. And Rhea Ripley won. Who did she pin?
She got the pin on Asuka after I don't know what happened to Charlotte when she was on the apron. It looked like she had kicked Asuka into Rhea, but then I guess she fell or something like that because I don't know. But they just turned back after the pin and Charlotte was just down on the floor. So, but yeah. It was good though. I for the expectations that I had for this match, it was far better than I expected. It's the best Rhea looked so far since she's been on Raw and as a champ. And it just kind of it built slowly. You know, it got better as the time went on. So I'm gonna give it an A- because it far exceeded my expectations. I would say it would have been better if we got some interference from Alexa, because I'm sick and tired of seeing her show up on TV to do nothing but talk. And if Charlotte wasn't going to win anyway,
playground.
Yeah, if Charlotte wasn't going to win anyway, this is the perfect way to segue. So, but I don't know, man.
Assuming Charlotte's the target.
Yeah,
That's what we think.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a target. Didn't she create some voodoo magic thing on Shayna Baszler on Raw?
But Charlotte was in the match, so
Asuka was also in the match. It could be
there's a lot of people in the match.
You know what's
that
funny?
was the whole point. It left it open for interpretation.
I know.
Here's what I think apparently is going to happen. So Lily had her eye on something red, and she was eyeing Sonya Deville, who had a red suit on that night. You know, Sonya's suit game is fire. She color coordinates depending on where she's working. So that's dope. So Lily's seen the red. Sonya has been connected with Charlotte Flair over the past few weeks. So I figure, I figure that something is going to happen with one of those two, but I don't know. We're going to see. Katie, what grade do you have for this match?
I'll give it an A. I'll give it an A. It was like Reek said, is a lot better than Rhea's been since she's been on Raw. And like some parts kind of slipped here and there, but it wasn't an awful bad match. It was pretty good.
Yeah, there was definitely some clunky spots here and there, but
I know Asuka and Charlie, they did their thing though, so it's worth it for their interactions.
All three of them are fantastic wrestlers, so they're gonna put on a really good match. It's just it's whether or not they have the chemistry. Obviously, we've seen that Charlotte and Asuka can put on a fantastic match. Charlotte and Rhea put on a great match at WrestleMania last year, and Rhea and Asuka had some chemistry too. So all three of them in the ring. Well, some,
barely some.
Yeah,
sprinkles.
Their Raw match was better than the WrestleMania match.
I ain't saying much.
Yeah, it's not, but it is what it is. Their match last week was okay, for what it's worth. True. Next up for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio defeated the Dirty Dogs. I saw glimpses of this one, so I will tag in with my thoughts here. I'm gonna give it a C because I feel like the match did go on a little bit too long. It drug out a little bit. Dominic was attacked by the Dirty Dogs earlier in the evening. They threw a couch on this man. A couch.
Oh man, whole ass couch.
So with that being said, it was a handicap match, but then it turned into a tag match because Dominic was, he came back down to the ring after a certain amount of time, got in, and it made the pin, won his first championship
with the mild sauce of frog splashes.
Yeah. You got to learn how to do a frog splash like your pop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to take credit for this moment, though. I feel like we pushed Rey Mysterio to be a better father, and he ended up winning the championships with his dad. I feel like it was on us. I feel like they should credit us for this a little bit, because I think like he would have never did this if he didn't, have that chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay, so full disclosure for our listeners who aren't in the know, back in December of 2020,
our award show.
we on our award show, we crowned Rey Mysterio the worst father in wrestling of 2020. And since that time, oddly enough, he took a turn for the better, apparently.
Like immediately.
Yeah.
Like a very immediate turn.
I would like to rebuttal and say if there really are true listeners, they should already be in the know and no need for an explanation.
Yeah, I didn't need no context to that. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. If you don't know, go back and watch the episode.
I don't want to turn
and then binge watch every single episode.
Explain context to everybody all the time.
That's true. That's true.
Exactly.
If you miss what happened on Raw 30 minutes ago.
So I gotta give this a C-, and I'm bordering on a D, because this is the whole attacking Dom backstage and Ray's hurt. Like, it was so unnecessary. It was so highly unnecessary. The four of them together in one match could put on a perfectly good match and shave off, without all the extra stuff, and shave off some time even, because it's like this just felt like it dragged. So all that extra stuff beforehand took me out of it going into the match, and then it just felt like it dragged with the whole thing with Ray going in by himself entirely too long. It's like this could have been so much better if we could have just brought them out normally and had the damn match. Plain and simple. Like, this was too much. Yeah. I'm happy they got the moment, but it's like, listen, you could have got there a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Let me preface by saying this: I'm 120% biased. But I'll give it a B-. I don't think
you
that
even
they
watch
needed
it.
To. Yes, I watched it. How dare you break kayfabe, TC Fontaine? But I watched the match. I thought it was really good. It did go a little bit long. I don't think they needed to do the whole spot where they injured Dom before the match, throwing the couch and whatnot. Although the little wrinkle of like Ray being the protective father, not wanting to tag in his son because he's concerned for him being still injured, was a nice little wrinkle. I don't think it needed it. I think they should just went out there and had the match, out wrestled Rudolph, not the Dirty Dogs. But regardless of the fact, regardless of the mild sauce frog splash that he hit at the end, I thought it was a good match. I thought it was a good moment. B-.
What grade you give it, Katie?
It was C+. It's just, I mean, it was too long. Yeah, the moment was incredible, very heartfelt, very heartwarming. But yeah, no need to attack Dom beforehand. Match was too long. C+.
They did what LeBron James and Bronny wanted to do, but never will. So they became champions together. Bronny and LeBron will never do that. So they'll have that over them.
Well, I mean, you gotta
low hanging fruit to take a shot at.
You got to tip your cap to Ray for winning tag titles with 2 generations of Guerreros too.
Stop it.
What the fuck? That was literally my next line. Did you hack into my notes or something? I was about to say that. I had that written verbatim.
You know, that's how you guys know are a great tag team, because you guys already know what the other one's thinking. The chemistry has been there so long.
You hacked my
Wow.
notes.
You guys are like the Usos of podcasting before
Change
Roman
my
Reigns
password.
put a split in between.
Hey, if we the Usos, I'm Jimmy.
Oh no! So I gotta be Roman's bitch. That's how it is.
I
bought
never mind.
one of those shirts.
Never
You
mind.
should imply some things. I don't know. If I were you, Rick, I wouldn't take that lightly.
Never
I mean,
mind.
like-
I'll keep my
I
mouth
just
shut.
had to call dibs.
Right.
No offense. I just had to call dibs first before it wasn't there, and I had to be Jay. I don't want to be Jay.
Honestly, I would want to be Jimmy just because I'd be married to Naomi. That'd be
Also-
the sole reason.
Facts.
And Jimmy's shirt better too. I bought that shirt, by the way.
Yo, I'm surprised they let him come out with a shirt saying "bitch" on it on TV, and then
They
sell
apparently
it.
blurred it in some places.
They didn't blur it at all in Chicago.
Well, I know they didn't blur it here, but I saw like screenshots. I don't know if people were like rewatching it or something, but yeah, it was blurred out.
Fox don't care. This money.
No, they don't. I bought the shirt. He was still in the ring.
It's better than that John Moxley and Lily shirt that was compared to on Twitter the other day. It's one of the
It's better than a lot of shirts they put out. Like there was a big
shirts in general,
shirt with
like,
an ass on it back in the day.
Attitude Era was wild, man. Attitude Era was wild.
Hey, let's move on, man. Next up, we shouldn't spend more than like 30 seconds talking about this. Damian Priest defeated The Miz in a lumberjack match. The lumberjacks were zombies. I'll give it an F because it had zombies at ringside. I didn't care about the match because there were zombies at ringside. I turned the match on. I had to turn the pay-per-view off real quick because I had just left Versus and I didn't get the show on. And I got the show on and I turned it on to this match and I saw zombies at ringside and I just checked out immediately. Apparently it was cross promotion for his new Zack Snyder film starring Batista, and Batista introduced the zombies. Apparently, I don't know,
but Batista was not there, so this gets an automatic F for me.
Yeah,
give me what I want.
It gets an automatic F regardless. I just hope they pretend tomorrow that it never happened.
No, they'll bring it up. They'll bring up. It's Raw, bro. They're gonna bring it up
like 5 times too,
at least.
If I want to see what happened to the Miz last night. Check out this.
John Morrison's gonna bring it up. Miz will bring it up.
Yo, man,
John Morrison started doing parkour moves on the fucking zombies, bro.
He became Johnny Cage.
All right, let's move.
Hey, Reek. I think Reek has something to say.
I'm gonna make this quick. DJ, cut the track, please.
Cue me back in, please.
DJ, cut the track.
I'm upset.
Okay, so I've been on this tangent for several months now, and it's very simple. I am sick and tired.
You're not gonna spend more than 30 seconds.
I know. I said I'm gonna make this quick. But I'm sick and tired of lazy writing on my TV, and this was just another example of lazy writing. There's cheap plugs and there's expensive plugs. This was expensive because of what it took out of me personally, that I had to sit here and watch this for longer than 10 minutes. You want to plug the movie, have a segment backstage, get it out the way. Do not sit up here and have a match that didn't need to happen, first of all, and add in all this extra bullshit if Batista's not going to show up at the very least. Like, this was stupid. Priest don't need to keep going on with the Miz and Morrison, whatever, all this other stuff. That needs to be done. But this, all of it, zombies, and whatever, like, this was, somebody flipped a coin backstage and said it's either going to be zombies or it's going to be, I don't know, something. They choose between that and something else. They flipped the coin, they landed on zombies, and they said, okay, write it into the show, and that was it. I don't ever want to see something this lazy again, because that's all this was to me.
To play devil's advocate, just because I'm a little tipsy, he kind of did plant the seeds on it, saying bring superstars from Raw, bring superstars from SmackDown, bring aliens from outer space, or whatever the fuck he said. So he opened the door for some shenanigans, something ridiculous.
No excuse.
No excuse.
That is blasphemous.
No.
Exactly.
No.
Also, I really thought Reek was about to go, I've had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane, and I got really disappointed when you didn't.
I've had it with this motherfucking lazy writing. So the match gets an F. The match gets an F. The creative team gets an F. Everyone involved gets an F. Miz and Priest both need bonuses for being subjected to this bullshit.
Hey, but why does Reek remind you of random Samuel L. Jackson characters, though?
The way he said it, I've had it, I immediately thought of that.
This is the second Samuel L. Jackson movie reference we've had on this show today. In regards to
Oh man.
So yeah, fuck that match.
Yeah.
You did a disservice to both of those guys.
Everybody involved gets an, except for the participants, because they deserve kudos for dealing with this bullshit. But everything else gets an F.
Deserves kudos is John Morrison for bringing out the parkour.
You know what? It was probably Morrison's idea, so give him an F too. That sounds like some shit he would come up with.
Yeah.
No, that sounds like some Miz shit.
Nah, Morrison.
This ain't that.
Do you watch Miz and Morrison, Vince? It's Morrison.
Yeah, exactly.
To be fair, since we've established that it's scripted and it's clearly staged, that's the gimmick of Morrison. I'd like to give Morrison, the person, more credit.
It was his fault.
Shut up,
I blame Morrison.
How dare you?
Shut up.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck that movie too, just because they didn't cast me. They filmed that movie out here too. They didn't cast me. So fuck that. I like Zack Snyder though, so show love to him. I'm still watching. Fuck that movie and that match. Let's move on, man. For the SmackDown Women's Championship, Bianca Belair defeated Bayley again. I think we all knew that would happen. I'm gonna give this one a B just because it was pretty lengthy, which is cool. But I think I don't know. I have to go watch it back. My grade might be different. I think I might rank it higher than I ranked it. Probably I'm just giving it a B because I didn't really get to pay that much attention to it. But they had great chemistry. They had great chemistry on SmackDown. Great chemistry here. I think what they should do, I want to see one more time. The way it ended, I think Bayley needs a rematch. I think she should petition to get a rematch here. And one condition, Bianca Belair cannot use her hair she's used her hair to win 2 straight matches. She should be banned from using it.
That's something that Bayley should petition to be like.
I just said that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying there should be a whole shtick on SmackDown where she petitions to get that to be a stipulation, and she still beats Bayley.
So I took what you said. Now you're gonna steal my notes, bro. Like that's the first. I put 3 different things about this match, and you said them all.
Use it.
Like damn, bro.
Revenge.
Jesus.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a B+ for same reasons, since that's what I was gonna say anyway. But they do need to run it back one more time. I guess you add a stipulation. It don't need to just
Hell in the Cell just because.
No. If anyone's gonna get Hell in the Cell, it needs to be her and Sasha. But no, like
they do a triple threat between Sasha, Bayley, and Bianca.
Please
no more triple
threat rematches from.
Yeah.
It's a no for me, dog. No.
I'm starting to like, because the thing is too, like the triple threats lately have been good, but it's like you're doing it to death now. Like you don't need to keep on bringing that out. Like there's plenty other stipulations you can use.
Gauntlet, Eliminator, Hell in a Cell match. That's what we need. No, nobody. Fine.
No, sir.
A Gauntlet Hell in a Cell would just be too big.
I will give a small caveat though. After the second match with Bayley, I said this before, she needs to go to Raw. Get a package deal because Raw got more than enough women to spare. Make a nice package deal, could throw a bunch of these women over to SmackDown, get Bayley on Raw.
Considerations they never used.
Oh please, draft. What is that at this point? Because I don't
let Matt hear this. He'll go on a rant.
Oh, I know he will.
It just sounds cool.
I guess so, because we don't never see these considerations come up. Like unless it's one of those situations where you just later down the line, like that's how AJ wound up on Raw, even though it was really about Paul Heyman. But
I would like them to use those draft considerations to be like, oh, we get dibs on an NXT superstar that's getting called up. Like that's what justifies the superstar going to Raw or SmackDown. It's like we have draft considerations from NXT or 205 Live or NXT UK.
It's such a simple explanation too.
Yeah, but common sense is par for the course with WWE,
And I know they tapped in to the show, so it's something we'll probably see them do on television at some point later this year.
Yeah.
Because it'd be like, oh yeah, remember those draft considerations? We should do something about that.
I got cease and desist letters waiting. Try me, motherfuckers. I got the cease and desist ready for y'all. Jesus. Not playing no more. Not playing.
Moving on to our co-main event here, man. We got for the WWE Championship, I'm gonna say the whole name because that's how we do it. The almighty WWE Champion Bobby Lashley defeated Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre in a triple threat match. And you know what? I'm sorry if this offends anybody. This is an A+ for me. This is probably my favorite match of the night. It exceeded my expectations. That's why I wasn't expecting much of this match going into it. And all three guys went like 150% out there. Like, come on now. This was dope. Like, we had to mention Noku driver from Drew Mack onto Braun Strowman, bro. Yeah. It was full throttle,
bumping meat
the whole entire time. It was incredible, man. I loved it.
big meaty man slapping meat.
I loved it. Bobby Lashley winning. I'm sorry, the almighty WWE champion Bobby Lashley winning was just the icing on the cake. Because I was just like, I was in the middle of watching the match. I was like, you know what? I'm really enjoying this match, and they're gonna ruin it if Bobby don't win. And he won.
That's true.
He was waiting to pounce like a true champion.
That's how I felt about his WrestleMania match. If he don't win,
Same.
They're gonna ruin.
That's
it.
how I feel about every match he has until I see him face Brock Lesnar. He needs to win.
Do you
every
think it will
match.
happen at SummerSlam? Do you
I
think
hope
we'll
so.
actually see it? I really hope so.
If they have it at the Garden, it has to.
That's true. That's true because they're talking about that. They're talking about that heavy. I'm definitely giving this an A because it was exactly what it needed to be. Because the three of them, it was just one big old hoss fight between three guys doing a lot of, like you said, a lot of spots that guys that size you don't see them doing. But even more so, yeah, slap the chops and all that. So the other thing too is like I drew this comparison right at the very end because I saw this spot before. The 2015 Rumble match between Cena, Rollins, and Brock. Like this wasn't that match, but it's like once we saw Lashley go through the LED board, I'm like, okay, he's gonna come back to life on some zombie shit and fuck everybody up. And sure enough, he showed back up when the moment mattered most, hit that spear, game over. For that alone, I'm like, okay, this is gonna last for a while. I can appreciate what's happening here. So that bumped it way up for an A for me, right off the bat.
What about you, Katie?
I mean, I've definitely talked about how the build to this match was garbage. But all three of them are fantastic. I mean, we know Drew and Bobby have great chemistry based off their past matches. Braun's okay, but he's there exactly. He didn't have to be in this match, but I mean, the table spot was good with him and Drew going through the LED, which Lashley and Braun did. Like, I don't remember how long ago that was, but to kind of do that again, it gets an A because Bobby was been champ for a while. I'm done now.
Yeah.
I'll just give it a B+ and move on.
You gotta go watch the match back too, though.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it might help.
You guys painted such a fantastic picture for me that B+ worthy.
B+.
Bumping me.
B+ players.
Bumping me.
Mid at best. For the Universal Championship in our main event, the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns, defeated Cesaro. I'm gonna give this one an A as well. I thought both main events were just fantastic. This was a great story that was told. Great philosophy from both of these guys who are good philosophy guys. You know what I'm saying? Roman, whooped his ass during the match. After the match, Jey Uso starts whooping Cesaro's ass, and then out here comes Seth Rollins, and he started whooping his ass too.
He got his ass cooked. He got cooked.
Adrian, you didn't go down like that, huh?
He got cooked.
Unfortunately for Cesaro, first ever main event, first ever world title match. and you get whooped, and then you get your ass beat multiple times after the match. And I don't know what's next for my guy, man. Do we get him versus Seth in Hell in a Cell? You think?
Probably.
I think that's probably the move.
I don't want that, man.
Doesn't matter if you want it; it's probably gonna happen.
Just, oh man.
I guess that kind of bolsters the question is like if you're gonna get Cesaro versus Seth.
At least this deserves it, though.
Yeah, true. But what the fuck does Roman do at Hell in a Cell?
He the tribal chief. He don't got to do nothing. He beat everybody that's come to his way.
Assuming he has to do something, what does he do? We don't know what's next for Roman.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Shit, I was about to ask this too. I don't know what's next for Bobby Lashley. Like, what's
Well,
next
I was
for both world champions?
I was watching MVP and Almighty WWE champion Bobby Lashley on the watch along post show.
Yeah,
and he said he's going on vacation. So
good, he deserves it. He's a hardworking champion.
Well, we might not see.
He's no Sheamus, but he's a hardworking champion.
And he's better than Sheamus. I think so. You know, I'm biased.
He's the greatest of all time.
I'm biased. That's
just right below him.
Sheamus
is like Sheamus is the Lakers. Sheamus is the Lakers, and Bobby Lashley is the Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan.
Sheamus, technically, if you want to be technical, if you want to be real, Sheamus has claimed to being the second GOAT.
Sheamus has defeated the head of the table, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, in 5 minutes and 15 seconds.
Sheamus has won everything but one thing there is to win.
My heart? You already captured
the Intercontinental.
I was gonna say Universal title, but yeah. That's
I forgot about that.
Oh, okay. That don't capture my heart. I think that's more valuable than both the Universal and IC title put together.
Reed, man, what do you think of this match?
I gotta get this an A+, because y'all know I'm a sucker for psychology in matches, and this really did it for me because I mean, you know, I've been saying for the longest time Cesaro deserved it, you know, his moment, and he got there, and it was like the story, like he said, that he was telling in there. It's like no matter what Roman could do physically, my dude was not staying down. It was just like, nah, I'm still. He had him in a choke, but he still lifted him up to slam him and everything like that. It's like there was no putting him away until like Roman just completely exhausted himself.
But also that sequence when Cesaro slapped like 3 straight different submissions on him.
Yeah, but you know, also that it's like we haven't talked enough about this. Is like Roman's evolution as an entertainer is different. Because the wrestling has always been great. We knew that. But his promos got better. But him and just these matches and these quips that he do, like he's looking in the camera talking to DB. It's like him as an entertainer and the evolution, the strides he's taken at that is like, has really been on point. And this is adding to this new Roman that we've seen that's just been on point since he showed back up.
I would like to argue that this has always been in Roman, and Roman always wanted to do this because he's always been talking about how he wanted to do a heel turn, but he just never did. And because of the pandemic, it was the perfect opportunity to turn him heel, given that there's no fans. I feel like this is something that he already had within himself. He knew he could do this. It just, he was never allowed to do this. We could have had this Roman maybe like 2, 3, 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this
it was the perfect time to do it when he beat the Undertaker at WrestleMania. When he did the "This is my yard" like line, that seemed like a very heel move to heel line to say, and that would have been the perfect time to transition to that. But they didn't.
This is the problem with shoving, you know, his Vince's favorite Herculean baby faces, shoving them down our throats all the time. It's like
you just can't shove shit down your throat. You need consent, Vince McMahon. You know, consent.
Katie, what did you think about the match?
Fantastic match. I think this was probably my favorite match of the night, just because Cesaro's so good and he's so underrated. And the fact that he finally got this opportunity, he got his ass beat, but he definitely put a whooping to Roman too. It was so good. I like that there was no bullshit, no interference from anyone until after the match. A+.
The other thing too is like I think we don't even notice enough how much like Paul and his off to the side antics really kind of enhance the match. Like his facial expressions and all the stuff that he does, it's like if you don't catch him, it's like it doesn't hit the same during the match. It's like when you see it, it's like, oh man, like you just added to the drama, which is good when you don't have fans.
You can make the argument that him being at Brock in ringside for Brock's matches added to Brock's matches, but because we were so sick of Brock, we never appreciated or even noticed it.
Yeah, because you always every time Brock was in trouble, you'd always hear him screaming off the side, Brock. Like
and you'd actually feel like there was some like dread or like sense of urgency on Brock's side because he could actually lose to X person. Exactly. Even when he was when he was paired up with CM Punk, it felt like shit was like real. It felt like CM Punk was in peril.
Right. Yeah.
Paul Heyman's just a goat. He's like
I was about to say
managers.
That's why this works so well. Like you can't have anybody else in that position.
Big dog. Should he hold the title for another 2 years? I think so.
No.
Let's bring back long title reigns.
Listen.
Well, then if he needs to hold it for 2 years, then who the fuck takes the title off of him?
You know. Oh no! I didn't tell you this. I didn't tell you. Okay, so Roman needs to hold this title until WrestleMania in Dallas, and what needs to happen in January is you remember Evolution? How Batista, got he won the Rumble, but he was still kind of with Triple H up until like it was time for the split. That's what they need to do with Jay. Jay need to win the Rumble, and then Roman still need to keep on doing his thing. It's all about him because he's the head of the table and all this other stuff. Even though Jay done won the Rumble, listen. I'm telling you, bro, they're planting the seeds for this already. Roman, this is the first match that Roman won that Jay did not interfere for. Think about that for a second. The first time it actually happened. So now he's gonna be all feeling himself for the next several months. Jay gonna mess around, win the Rumble, and all you're gonna hear about is Roman Reigns. Right up until it's time to him to decide who is gonna face at Mania. He flips the switch, turns on Roman, face him at Mania. Jay Uso, main event Uso is going to be a Universal Champion at WrestleMania. You can book it. I said what I said.
You said what he said, yo. And that's our recap. So if you made it this far, we appreciate you. And if you turned it off at some point, during our New Jack conversation, maybe, during the Cody conversation, you thought, how dare they make fun of my Cody Rhodes? How dare they?
They're probably watching the wrong podcast if they get offended by that.
This is not a Cody Rhodes stand podcast. We don't do that here.
This is a New Jack Stand podcast, and on occasionally when I show up, a Sheamus Stand podcast.
This is a Sheamus Stand podcast, 100%.
That's right.
There you go.
And we don't pull punches over here.
The Great White. Say what?
We don't pull punches over here either. So, I mean, if you get sensitive, and your feelings get hurt, you definitely listen to the wrong show.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Fact. Yes, I have sound bites in my own voice on here too.
Nice. As you should.
Yes, my soundboard, of course I do.
Exactly. As you fucking should.
If anybody else want their sound bites on here, send me some. You know what I'm saying?
No, thank you.
I might send you a little some.
Oh,
I'll have my people talk to you.
You gonna send me, bro?
Not that. Not that.
Don't send him daddy's home, please.
No. That's only exclusive for Matt and the Smack and Raw podcast, where we really let loose over there.
Shout out to Matt, man.
Shout out to Matt. I
hope we did, justice in dedicating this episode to you.
Mm-hmm.
I hope
hopefully he watches back this episode not knowing that I'm gonna be on it, and then is pleasantly surprised.
Can you imagine if somebody dedicated something to you and that shit was trash? What would you do?
That's a loaded question right there.
Would you lie, or you just would you still have humble appreciation for it?
I'd appreciate the gesture, but it's man,
I don't have it in my capability to lie to people, so I just quietly ghost them.
See, you're what's wrong with today's generation.
Oh, here we fucking go.
I'm just saying.
Shut up, Vincente. Chill.
Oh.
Like I'm just saying, like, you know, you just humbly accept, you know, like maybe it didn't meet your expectations, but you accept what was given, you know, like it was a nice gesture of appreciation, and you just move on with your life.
Because I feel like if you would make a tribute to me for something, that means you really, you know, trying to show how much you care. And if it's not up to par, then that's showing your level of care for me. And
maybe
so
your standards are just too high.
Nah.
Maybe that's
I'm gonna agree with Reek there. Is you know, we're gonna quietly ghost. You know, that's what we do out here. Quietly ghost. Yeah. It's like I'm gonna quietly ghost our listeners.
A few moments later.
Add that to the sound.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. Hi, we're back. I wanted to quietly ghost
you to your schedule, to your regular.
You know, we had to return just momentarily.
Oh my gosh.
Because you know we forgot to plug the socials of our guests, and I don't want to do that. Plug your socials, guys.
Advance.
Okay, I'll go first. You can find me on all social media platforms at SESVince, whether that's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the works. You know, you can go ahead and find me there. You can follow the podcast Instagram page, which I'm trying to build up at Smacking the Raw Pod. Go ahead and give the latest episode a like. So whenever a new episode drops, it'll be posted there. You could also find us on Twitter at Smacking the Raw Pod. You can follow my co-host at Matt Ritter. That's MATTRIDDER. I can't do it as fast as he can.
MATTRIDDER.
Like I swear, man, his oral game must be strong if he's saying shit like that. You can find the audio version of our podcast, Linktree/Smacking the Raw Pod. Or just Smacking the Raw. I'm sorry, I've had a few beers. I can't recall. It's either or. And you can find the video version of the podcast at Linktree/Creation World, where you should subscribe on YouTube, but also check us out on Pornhub, and you can find Poppy Pornhub over there, or Pornhub Poppy, or whatever it is.
Pornhub Poppy. How do you forget your own nickname, bro?
I've had a few beers in me.
Linktree/Smacking It Raw. Linktree/Creation World. Twitter.com/.
I'll make sure to comment all the links on the Twitter post later on.
Facts.
Katie. First. I guess you can follow me on Twitter at KatieWrasslin13, WRASSLIN 13. Baby, yeah. Smack Raw is currently on a hiatus. Thank God, I get a break.
It's on a CM Punk sabbatical.
We're just revamping everything, but when we come back, you can follow the show on Twitter at SmackRawPod, YouTube.com/SmackRawPodcast, audio version. I have no idea what the fucking Linktree is. I've never actually plugged it. I just say it's everywhere.
It's Linktree/Smacking the Raw Pod. No, Smack Raw Pod.
Like,
it's available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, YouTube, Stitcher,
Podbean.
Podbean, I know
wherever
that.
Audio podcasts can be consumed.
And Twitch.
I just say audio. Oh yeah, twitch.tv/puttingyouover is where we stream, but I don't even know what the streaming schedule of that is anymore because again, we're switching everything up.
Twitch.tv/SmackRawPod.
Yeah, we don't really use that one anymore. I don't know what's going on with the show. We're changing everything.
It's almost as a mess as I am right now.
Listen. All that matters is that I get my own show. I get a female co-host.
Savannah.
Shout out to Savannah. And
that was in the contract negotiations. Apparently,
it was. It was.
You were gonna become a free agent and possibly sign with us, but then it was like we make this deal sweet for you and give you a female co-host.
Yeah.
Listen,
which and I said this in the chat that night. Full disclosure. We would have taken Savannah too if you needed another, female co-host with you. So,
y'all could have did your own thing. Just call it Young Kings Wrestling.
Young Kings and Queens. I've seen the list. I've seen the list. Young Queens
Wrestling.
You always have a home on Pornhub with the Smack the Raw podcast too. If you ever decide to take
options,
take a visit. Oh yes, you do.
What am I doing right now? This tomorrow night to be determined. Might be a mega show. That's depending on Matt. Yeah. But so to be determined. If not, it's happening on the 200th episode. But we might have something. I'm gonna be everywhere. I'm not taking a fucking break. Fuck this.
This is the legal tampering period.
Kitty sounds like she just got out of like a long-term relationship, and it's like it's complicated. We're taking a break. That's kind of like the vibe I got from like the whole situation.
Reek.
Shut up.
Oh man. So y'all can find me at ReekHavoc24 on Instagram and on Twitter. Also, you'll check out the Havoc Hour. I got some new content up. Playoffs are coming soon, so I'm gonna be shooting some new episodes. So I will be hitting up Mr. Vince Delgado. Check that out. As Instagram on the page. Also listen on Spotify, Anchor, Google Play. Also check out the video on YouTube as well. Everybody but Katie's been on the show because Katie's not much of a sports person. So
she should be.
Go check it out anyway.
We had enough NBA talk before this podcast for her to like be intrigued to dip her toes in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My team's plan was to start early for some reason. So
y'all about to play Golden State.
I'm a little stressed.
In the play,
I'm not stressed to play Golden State. I'm stressed to play Steph.
You're about to say that boy.
Same thing, same difference. Same
that boy's
difference.
a problem.
That boy's a problem, man. Ooh, 2K Steph is real.
I'm gonna plug my socials. We can quietly ghost our listeners again. I am TC Fontaine, the Thespian. You can find me on Instagram at tc.fontaine. I don't post on Instagram, but I might at some point. I don't know. I say that all the time, and I never do it.
He doesn't always post on Instagram, but when he does, it's
but
always fire.
You can follow us at YK Wrestling _ on Instagram and YK Wrestling everywhere else on social media. Free YK Wrestling.
Yeah, everywhere except Instagram, cause
say some hoes.
I was just about to say Instagram some hoes. Oh, I love it.
Most definitely. Go ahead, check out Versus Pro Wrestling as well, man. Go subscribe to Versus Pro Wrestling on Twitch. Check out those exhibitions we had earlier today, man. Y'all know who Effie is, right?
I love Effie.
Yeah, Effie is the champion of the Party Hard Wrestling, Arizona champion. Brand new, just won today, man. So he out here winning championships in Vegas.
Effie's my spirit animal.
Shout out to Effie.
He embodies the energy I try to give off on a daily basis.
Shout out to Effie. It was dope.
So I heard Vegas is like open back up officially. So I need to start making travel arrangements.
Y'all check out the show, man. Come check out the show.
Yes, sir.
Might have to link up.
Come check out the show, guys.
Oh yeah. Or
you can watch it on Twitch. You know, if you can't make it.
Facts.
Plug.
Plug.
Young Kings Wrestling Podcast. We're out of here. We didn't quietly ghost this time, but
we're gently pulling out though.
Yeah.
Later, y'all.